Yo, how's it going? Trade recap for 9/24/2025. Okay, so starting off with my bias coming in today, we come to open. It was a pretty obvious bearish bias. Let me tell y'all why. Okay, let's ignore this 4-hour candle. So this is what price looked like coming into the day. Pretty obvious bearish bias. Why? We inverted this big 4-hour gap right here, inverted this discounted 4-hour gap right here, and now we're coming back into EQ within this range. Did this price leg to that one? EQ. So my bias was pretty bearish until like these lows, or even these lows. And that's because, we're not at all-time highs anymore. We've already got displacement through these 4 hours. If we were truly bullish, we would have respected these and started rallying up. But, we disrespected these gaps, so now we shifted to a bearish market. So that was my bias coming into the day, which was shorts. And ideally, I wanted to short up here. But I'm trying to go into the 1 hour. This is 4 a.m. Yeah, we are kind of already started, rallying down. Okay, fast forwarded a little bit. Okay, so let's drop to the 2-minute. So my main draws on liquidity marked out were we had swept London already coming into open. We had London, I believe, right here. Yeah, London right here, Asia, and then yesterday's lows, and then these sell side lows, and this was like a daily for rally gap. And I also had this 1 hour marked out up here and these draws, but I was very bearish. But I honestly wanted to catch short up here. My ideal plan was let me kind of, yeah, so we're right here. Okay, boom. So my ideal plan, okay, I wanted to catch like a trade up here. Like if we could come up, sweep this high, create an SMT with NQ and ES, and then get a trade down to London or Asia. But the draw was very clear that it was going to be lower. But we didn't get the entry. If boom, market opens, okay, you go on the 1 minute, you don't get an entry. Yeah, I don't think so. Actually, I didn't check on MNQ if you got an entry at open like in the 30-second. But we didn't even put an SMT with any of these highs, so like I still really didn't like it. But let's see. Yeah, I mean, we do get it like a 30-second that gets ran. No, not really. Okay, there's a Ferrari up there, but that would have been entry. But there was no S&T at the highs with these. There was no S&T at the highs with these highs, and then there was just no Ferrari gap that was ran through, so I didn't take this at open. I also had this unfilled 1 hour gap that was aligned with I think London lows. Yeah, this 4-hour gap was aligned with London lows, and we had an unfilled 15-minute gap right here. Right here that I marked out, and then we started respecting it to the tick. And I know I said I was bearish, but I still try to catch along. So let me kind of show y'all my game plan. So we tapped into this unfilled 1 hour, tapped into but I wanted us to get deeper. So inverse that, and then I was like, no, I'm not taking this first inversion of the leg. Not doing that. We come back lower, get a resweep of these London lows, and then we tap into the 15-minute. I was like, oh, this looks super clean model. And I'm not mad with this trade because it could have worked out. Like this probably would have been a mech, but that's negative RR, and it could have worked out. But the market was just so bearish. Like it was like on the higher time frame was super bearish. Like that continuation to EQ to dump all the way to Asia and London was super clear. But the model presented itself, and I decided to take it. Boom, wick, boom, get the inversion. Had stops at this, and we also had a higher time from SMT because NQ took London at like 8:37 was the SMT, 8:37 ES. Where's 8:37? Yeah, up here, that's 8:37. So we had an SMT, and then we were in EQ within this range as well. We were in equilibrium. If we mark it out, yeah, EQ. So boom, I take the inversion, and then I was gonna break even at the 5-minute, on for 5-minute, but boom, we just get stopped. We get cooked, and we just literally dump. So yeah, so that happens. We get stopped. I was like, damn, okay. And I was like, it didn't work because we're clearly in a bearish market. We're clearly in that sell side of the curve. Higher time frame, already inverse the 4-hour gaps. There's really no reason we should be taking longs anywhere in this at all, until we get like the lowest point we could get, which was, I think we reversed at this, which is a daily fair value gap. So yeah, it failed. Model was there, but the drawn liquidity was lower, and even though my entry model presented itself, it just wasn't aligned with the main bias. The draw on liquidity was just stronger than the entry model, and the market wanted to go lower, which was clearly showing us coming into the open. So boom, that gets stopped, and then I was like, okay, we take all these draws, or this is that 15-minute, and remove it, but we still have these lows intact, and then we get super deep. We get boom, boom. I was like, okay. When we start getting bought back up, I was okay. Now I'm looking for shorts. We left this essentially equal lows, and we have this liquidity below us. I was like, okay, let's look for shorts. It's like boom, boom, boom. I was like, okay, let me try to see if I can catch a pullback to a 5-minute or a 15-minute gap. So boom, we put this 5-minute condition in right here, and boom, put it in, and then boom, we pull back, and we get into EQ within that 5-minute. We go right here. Okay, well, it kind of skipped, but get into that around there. Boom, I was okay. And then around 9 a.m. Take this on the, yeah, took this on the 32nd. So we get into OTE equilibrium within that 5-minute. Yeah, took this at 9 a.m. Boom, get an inversion down, continuation model, stops like right here, and targets right here. Boom, we end up getting stopped. And I honestly probably should have waited till this 5-minute close, because it still looked strong. Like it was, yes, it was rejecting, but just wait till it closes. So, and we also had a 15-minute above. We also had this 15-minute that got created at 9 a.m. So once 9 a.m. happened, we had the 15-minute open up, and we wanted to trade higher. So yes, we rejected the 5-minute, but we still had a reason to go higher. We had a 15-minute above, so the market wanted to draw farther up and then dump. So boom. Okay, yeah, so I take the 30-second on this other trade, boom, and I get stopped. I was like, okay. And I honestly should have been done right there. And my mindset was, because my trade rules are 2 trades per day, and I risk 250 each around those trades. So I get stopped, and then my maximum loss limit is 500 on my funded and like on my accounts. So boom, I just stopped, and I'm like down like 440 on my funded. So I was like, you know what? Like, I know it's a bad mindset. I shouldn't have even taken the last trade. I was like, you know, like, I'm having hit my max loss limit. Let me just take one more trade. Have a little bit of capital left to spare. So when we tap into this until 15 minute, we get a clean 1 minute inversion right here. Boom, take it, and then it had stops. My stops were a risk-based stop. So I took this on my alpha and my funded, and honestly should have dropped size if I would have gone in. If I would have gone in with my funded, because I had $40 left to spare of the drawdown limit. But on my alpha, I had it like boom, ended up getting stopped on my alpha, and I should have been at the high because I think there was an S&T with these highs, but I didn't, and it was a risk-based stop. And then boom, we don't even take the high, and then honestly this trade probably would have gotten a break even. I probably would have break even around here, and then it would have got a break even anyway. But a break even day is better than a losing day. We ended up hitting the target, but the delivery was just so bad. Like, look at this chop. So I did break my rules. I took one more trade than I should have, and then I was down like 650 on my funded. On not my funded, my alpha, my eval, but like 500 on my funded. So honestly, I shouldn't have taken. I broke my rules. I over traded, and I kind of not over leveraged, but when I was getting in on the 30-second right here, I was only risking like 150, and then I added more cons because I was like, okay, I usually risk 250. Let me just add more cons. But honestly, this wasn't an A+ setup. We still had that 15 minute above that we wanted to draw towards too, which was, yeah, we had that 15 minute above, which we tagged, and then that 5 minute just got ran. So yeah, those were the trades for today. My mistakes are, bias was clearly bearish. I shouldn't have been taking any longs like anywhere near here, especially like when you're like displacing through this. And then just that 1 minute, like, yes, it took 2 candles to close, but like, it was weird. It was bad to inverse it, and then boom, we shot down, and then we came back up. It was like foreshadowing that we don't want to inverse it. But yeah, the draw liquidity was clearly lower, and the entry model presented itself, but the higher time frame was just stronger than the lower time frame because this is all on the 1 minute. Yes, we had confluences to go to the upside. Yes, we were respecting this 1 hour, or it hadn't closed, and we were respecting that 15 minute. We did have an SMT. We're kind of in equilibrium, but on the 4 hour, we clearly displaced through those 4 hour imbalances, and clearly the draw was lower. So honestly, this probably should have been a break-even day. To be honest, should have been a break-even day, and it shouldn't have been a losing day, and I shouldn't have over traded. I should have been like, okay, I took my 2 trades, and that's it. But I over traded, and I just didn't follow the higher time frame bias, which was clearly bearish. But yeah, those were the trades for today. I took round 3. Was down on the day. See if we can get back at it tomorrow, and I'll have another recap upload for y'all.